Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my parents' basement, your parents' basement, our parents' basement, and today we're discussing the upcoming individually released Back to the Future trilogy. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the Back to the Future trilogy, and with that, Universal has decided for the first time ever to release the Back to the Future trilogy individually in what looks like steelbooks. They just did something similar with Jaws and Jaws' 50th anniversary, and so now Back to the Future is celebrating its 40th anniversary. It looks like the disc is the same disc and therefore the same 4K transfer that we got in the first release of Back to the Future on 4K for the 35th year anniversary. But this new edition comes with some new bonus features on a bonus features disc relating to celebrating its 40th anniversary with a TCM festival, among other things. So here we're looking at the release, the steelbook release for the first Back to the Future. We can see the nice steelbook cover with Marty on the front of the DeLorean doing its iconic fire tire tread into the past. And then we can see around Marty the various characters that he encounters in his adventure: Doc, Biff, his mom Lorraine, and his dad George. And then on the back, some nice imagery from throughout the movie, classic scenes, and then the inside art with the letter Marty writes to save the clock tower. Just cool imagery, kind of highlighting the iconic points of the movie, and still staying in with the tone of the film, which I think is an important thing with cover art that I feel like it doesn't always happen with these steelbooks. Sometimes it's too busy, or sometimes it doesn't match very well with the tone. I like the feel of this first one. And then obviously when we look at the discs on the bottom of the image, we can see the 4K and the Blu-ray. Both of those came with the original run of the 35-year anniversary of this film, like I mentioned before, and I'll mention again. And then we can also see that new Blu-ray disc that comes exclusively with this first Back to the Future. That's all pertaining to the 40th anniversary bonus feature stuff. And now here we're looking at the Back to the Future Part 2 4K Steelbook. Again, I really like how this is contrasted with the first one, and still reflective of the second one and its colors, going from that light blue that is so iconic with Back to the Future to this red that is kind of more recognized as a trait of Back to the Future Part 2. But looking at the art again, we're seeing the stylistic choicing, and of course it is matching throughout the trilogy. Marty and Doc, obviously in all the posters, we know the iconic imagery. It's Marty and Doc now on the front, looking at their watches outside the DeLorean, where the first one had been Marty. So obviously now here Doc joins Marty in the circle, and again on the back we got some great imagery throughout the movie, as well as around that circle. We got the flying DeLorean, a classic introduction in Back to the Future Part 2, and of course we get some great references on the inside, such as Jaws 19, which is directed by Max Spielberg, Steven Spielberg's son, which is a nice little nod there. The California license plate, the sports almanac, great stuff in there, and then obviously, like I mentioned before, and I'll mention again, we see the 4K Back to the Future Part 2 and the 4K Blu-ray. These are the same two discs that come with the other 35th anniversary Back to the Future Part 2 release. So there's nothing new in this one, except for obviously this steelbook design. And like I said, we see the front and back art, and then we see the inside art. And now we're looking at Back to the Future Part 3. Again, kind of changing the color to match this film aesthetically. And once more, we know that iconic imagery of the Back to the Future Part 3 poster, where they're joined by Claire. And then obviously we get the great scenes throughout the film on the back and around the circle that they're in. And again, great art on the inside referencing various points in the movie. This one is a little bit less like visually appealing because it's a bunch of letters and then a wanted poster, and obviously the picture of the Hill Valley clock with Doc and Marty, which is cool. But the outside looks fantastic. I love the color design. You know, these three films would look great lined up against each other. And then again, looking at the discs, we see the Back to the Future Part 3, 4K and Blu-ray. Those are, standard. We had those before, and then that's the Blu-ray disc bonus features that came with the last 35th anniversary set. So there's nothing new in this one either, except for the new steelbook design, which again I'm not saying it's bad. It looks very nice, but disc-wise, transfer-wise, stuff like that, this is what we already have. And a quick little extra thing I wanted to throw in there, that this release also is having a couple of sets. This one, I assume, as I'm filming this video, the news is breaking, so I wonder if there will eventually be announced individual non-steelbook cases. We'll see if I finish editing the video by the time that news breaks or not. But here is a 40th anniversary trilogy set, and this is all the discs that you would get, except the films aren't steelbook. As you can tell, these are the regular cases, standard cases that are going to come in a box, and it's all the discs that you would have got if you bought them individually, or in other words, this is the set that already exists, except for that one extra Blu-ray disc. And that's what I'm really trying to preface here, is that it's recognized that the only new thing is the Back to the Future 1 40th anniversary bonus features. And I think I will take a brief moment to go over what that all entails, so you guys are familiar with what to expect if you pick this up, what bonus features you would be getting. So here again is the imagery for the limited edition steelbook of the first Back to the Future. Like I said, this is the one that's going to have the new stuff. So if you're just interested in getting the new stuff, and you don't have to have the full set, you don't want to buy one of the box sets, you just want the new stuff, this is the one to get. This is the one that has the new stuff. And so it comes with all the previously released bonus content. There's a bunch of it. You can look it up if you're interested in knowing it. Or if you already have it, then it doesn't matter. But the specifically brand new bonus content with the brand new bonus disc includes a 40 years later reflecting on Back to the Future, Back to Hill Valley, Untold Stories of Back to the Future, TCM Classic Film Festival panel, A Mystery in History. So that's the new bonus feature content that's exclusive to this 40th anniversary edition of Back to the Future. This will come with the box sets, this will come with the first Back to the Future, but if you're buying them all individually on Steelbook, obviously this stuff only comes with the first one because it's only relative to the first film. It's celebrating that film's specific anniversary. So if this is the only stuff you're interested in, you can do without all the other stuff, this is the one to get. This is the information that you want. But otherwise, all the other stuff comes with what's already been released. That's the new bonus features content that's for the first Back to the Future. As I said, this is the first time that Back to the Future is available individually. It previously came out, like I mentioned, for the 35th year anniversary. As the Trilogy set, you could buy the standard Trilogy set, which I believe is still available today, or you could buy the Steelbook limited edition anniversary set that I have here that came with the 3 films in their own individual steelbooks. And together they created this rough image of the DeLorean in front of the clock tower in Hill Valley, and had its distinct back image relating to the film, as well as each one having its own individual inside art, and coming with the Blu-ray disc and a bonus disc that included all of this year anniversary's exclusive and new bonus features content. So into the specifics of each release, the first Back to the Future film will essentially be the same release that originally came out, with a new bonus disc relating to that film's specific 40th anniversary. And that's where a lot of the features will come in. For Back to the Future 2, that will essentially be if you plucked the Back to the Future 2 Steelbook out of that set, or out of the Back to the Future Trilogy Standard Edition. It's the same release, comes with the film on 4K and Blu-ray with the general Back to the Future 2 bonus features. And for Back to the Future 3, same thing with that. It comes with a bonus disc, but that's all previously seen bonus features and whatever. And it's the same as if, again, you pulled that Back to the Future 3 out of the steelbook set or the standard edition set. So the only thing really new here is the bonus disc that comes with the first Back to the Future, and that's going to have all the old bonus features for the first Back to the Future, as well as all these new 40th anniversary bonus features. Another thing is that Amazon, I think it's an Amazon exclusive, Amazon is going to have the 4K Trilogy set of all these new releases. And so here is the visual for the Amazon exclusive. It's hard to tell exactly how this box set is oriented, how it's shaped. It talks about a flux capacitor steelbook. I don't know if that's the full thing. Obviously, we also see the Back to the Future steelbook design. I don't know if that's the actual steelbook, but this is the really special edition, super duper collector's item piece. We see all the discs. We see what I presume on the left, that left-hand image of the inside the DeLorean. I think this is the box art cover. Then on the inside, in the right image up on the left corner, we see the flux capacitor reading. Where we see the flux capacitor, but then we see the readings of where you're going, where you've been, where you are. I assume that's the inside maybe of the box set, and then we see a bunch of cool stuff: the Out of Time license plate, the Jaws 19 poster. You can read all the different things that it comes with: a visual history booklet, a lenticular photo of Marty, Dave, and Linda McFly, replicas from the Universal Archives, and then the certificate of authenticity that's numbered. Very cool stuff. So this might be the one to get if you're on the fence, but you're still like a collector, because it comes with a bunch of cool collector's items, and it has all the discs and stuff. So if you already have this set and you're kind of interested, obviously this is going to be more money. This is like the super duper edition that comes with a bunch of stuff that might make it more worth it, besides just getting one extra disc that, has a couple bonus feature sets on it. Now, that being said, again, this is more money, so if you're not interested in all that collector's item stuff, then maybe it isn't worth it. But it is a cool little thing to have. Obviously, as we get closer and Amazon has pictures up, we'll be able to tell more what this is looking like, but it looks like it's going to be some sort of box set designed with a flux capacitor steelbook. Whether that holds all the discs or not, I don't know, but it has a lot of cool little things with it. So that's another addition. All this stuff is coming out October 14th. October 14th is when all this is coming out. Pre-orders are already up on Amazon, so be on the lookout if you are interested. Basically, in short, the only new thing is this bonus features disc, which I've mentioned a few times before, but just want to make that clear because that's kind of an interesting thing to note in these types of re-releases that Universal has done, like with Jaws. And it's going to be a topic for a video coming out soon that I'm going to have kind of diving into that deeper. But that's that. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments below, since that's all I have for you, let me know if you're thinking about picking up the Back to the Future 4K steelbooks individually. Do you already have the film Trilogy set? And if you do, does that play a role into you getting it or not? Are you interested in the collector's pieces? Are you interested in the bonus content? It's interesting how the incentive behind this is that bonus content when other studios, freely throw that on YouTube or only have certain aspects of it available digitally to purchase. When that was such a mainstay of the DVD or the Blu-ray release, was that bonus features, that behind the scenes, that blooper reel, the commentary. But anyway, guys, since that's all I have for you today, thank you so much for watching. Like I said in the comments, let me know what you think of this release, if you're picking it up. How do you compare the steelbooks? What do you think just generally overall? But other than that, like, comment, subscribe, do what you have to do, but make sure you're here next time so I can see you in my parents' basement, your parents' basement, our parents' basement.